welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tandy. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna do another reaction video. You guys seem to like that in my last video, so we just gonna roll with it. Now, friendship breakups a little tricky, okay? Let's get into these videos and see what it's given.
Friendship breakups hurt more than your romantic breakups. Yeah, and still we don't talk about it enough. And what bothers me the most is like, why people be willing to work on resolving conflict with their significant others but not with their friends? That's a little bit weird to me because like I care. Like this is still a relationship. I had this conversation with a couple friends and some like common feedback that I got is like, oh, it's different because we not having sex. I don't give a fuck if we not having sex. I still care about you. I love you. You don't want to resolve conflict?
No, but for real though, I had to pause them right there because this is triggering for me. I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that basic, simple concept that it doesn't matter whether it's platonic or, it's intimate. You still have to work and communicate in that relationship in order for it to work, right? I never understood people who say stuff like that. It's just weird to me.
We are still very much so in relationship. A friendship is still a relationship. We still have to nurture and work on our relationships. Don't treat your friends like that. And like I said, when you and your friends stop, okay, I can't talk on behalf of nobody else, but when me and my friends stop talking, I don't feel good. I'm going through the same grieving process I would as if I just broke up with my significant other. And like, what are the supports in place for that? I had a really good friend that I met on Clubhouse on some weird shit. We both went to the same college together. And we were good friends for like a year, and her husband was not satisfied with our friendship. So as a result, she stopped talking to me. Y'all, that shit took me down. I wasn't ready to date around for friends for like a year after that. Like, I find that I was comparing every friend after to her, to like how she made me feel, that energy. It's the same shit as a romantic relationship. We are very much so still in relationship. So if you just went through some shit with your friend, allow yourself some time to heal. You don't gotta try to find a rebound friend, a replacement friend, somebody to dump on. Be your own friend. If you are suffering any type of loss or grief right now, my heart is with you and I'm sending you well wishes. Big reciprocated energy in 2023. Big healing energy in 2023. Big conflict resolution.
Okay, let's break that down, right? Friendships take work. And they're also very painful when you have to break up with somebody. Well, as this person said, I can only speak for myself. I will sometimes put myself in like a mindset where it's like, oh, I don't need to work at this. I don't need to get any more friends after a breakup. I find that it's so easy for me to disconnect from friendships. And I have to ask myself, why? Why is it so easy for me to walk away from friendship, especially one that I've been in for years, versus chasing after somebody's son, Like, why is that? Also, we have to be able to give ourselves grace whenever we do go through breakups. You know what I mean? It's just so unfortunate that people don't talk about this enough. It is very difficult to go through, but I think validating our own feelings is the first step in getting over friendship breakups. But I think that goes into understanding that, people come and go in your life, and that's okay. This next video can kind of sum it up in a better way than I can, so let's check this one out.
People are in your life for one of three things. They're there for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and you mustn't mix them up. If people are in your life for a season, don't cling to them to make them permanent. If people are in your life permanently, don't treat them like they're seasonal. If people come for a reason, that is, they've come to help something get done in your life, they're coming to bring an opportunity, or they're coming to bring an awareness to you, or they're coming to help you get unstuck, or whatever it may be, don't cling to them and try to drag out their involvement in your life because you feel that reason is so good, I want you always to be here in case I need that reason again.
And that's what I was trying to say, because people come into your life for a reason and or a season, and it's important that we don't conflate the two. Let's check out this other video though.
Okay, this is a message from the universe for someone out there watching this right now. If you've been holding on to someone who who's no longer in your life, someone who unfriended you, or ghosted you perhaps, or canceled you, I'm getting a very clear message that it's time to let them go and walk away. If you are anything like me, I have a tendency to care very deeply for people. So deep it hurts sometimes. And I had a few friends ice me out the last 2 years based on political views I had in the past. And I've made multiple attempts to get back in touch with them and reconcile or fix our friendship, to no avail. And I never give up on people, but for whatever reason, the universe is asking us to let these people go now. Because you deserve to be loved the way that you love. See, the reason why you've been suffering so much is because you've been giving your love to the wrong people. These people didn't love you unconditionally. They loved you conditionally. And they let you go when it wasn't convenient for them anymore. So do yourself a solid and drop the fight. Trust that the universe is going to take you to higher heights if you let them go. You're only going to free up space to allow something new to enter. And you deserve that. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be acknowledged. And goodness is coming. You just have to be willing to free up some space and let go. I love you.
Okay, wait a minute, because I got an unpopular opinion here. Did y'all hear in the beginning how this man said his former friends kind of disassociated themselves with him due to his political views? Now, I'm not one to judge, okay, normally. However, we gonna give this man grace, okay, because I have some theories in my own head, but again, I don't want to judge. So let's just move forward.
A few moments later.
What were those political views, sir? Maybe you needed to check your own bias. I don't know. I just heard like red flags, like, because you can still be a decent person, but if you have certain beliefs, how decent really truly are you? Because those beliefs ultimately lead to your own bias, right? But if you have a particular bias, that can definitely lead to, you know, tricky territory between other people, yourself and other people, that is. Sometimes we gotta check ourselves, you feel me? You may very well just be the problem. And I think this next video is gonna kind of piggyback off of that, so let's just jump right into it.
I used to be friends with someone for 10 plus years, and then she randomly like ghosted me, and I'll never understand.
Okay, in 2023, one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna accept the fact that sometimes you are wrong. Sometimes you are the problem. I think that like there's this narrative that like you have to overanalyze why and how people act the way they do, and oh, if someone broke up with me, like friend breakup after 10 years, it's because I remind them of some point in their life. No, maybe you were just a bad friend and they didn't want to keep explaining it to you. I just don't understand that. Maybe it just literally wasn't worth the effort of saying, hey, this is why I don't want to be your friend anymore, and just walking away was the better way to keep your peace. Like, normalize being wrong on occasion. Maybe that's not the case for this girl, but in 2023, I need people to start normalizing. Sometimes you are the problem, and that is okay because it means you can change, but sometimes you are the problem. Don't overanalyze your life.
See what I'm saying? Sometimes you are the problem. Like, you have to be able to check yourself. Like, nobody is just gonna randomly ghost you for no reason, whether it's platonic or it's an intimate relationship. I feel like when people ghost, it's a means of coping. Not saying that ghosting is okay. As a reformed ghoster, okay, listen, baby, I am quick to ghost somebody, but moving forward, trying to be my highest self, I know that it is a little bit toxic. Nobody owes you an explanation why, right? Myself personally, I'm trying to give explanations instead of just ghosting, because I've had ghosting done to me and I did not like it. So now that I know what it feels like, I'm trying not to do that, right? But I feel like if you are somebody who's been ghosted, especially by a friend, you have to be able to check yourself, okay? Be able to think, well, what did I do? Or better yet, what didn't I do? Look within sometimes, because sometimes you are the problem. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can just be literally putting in all the effort, and that can become exhausting for the other person. And at that point, they honestly don't owe you an explanation as to why they're walking away from you, because relationships shouldn't be exhausting.
Is this a safe space? Cool, then I'm gonna say this. Friendships aren't supposed to be emotionally exhaustive. Let's begin. Bro, sis, that friendship is taking too much from you. So what is a friendship? A friendship is a partnership formed from trust, and trust is demonstrated through keeping, respecting, and implementing boundaries. So where does the exhaustion come from? Access. Sometimes we give people too much access to the point of our depletion, all because we couldn't say no when we were getting low in our energy. Remember, friendships and relationships are partnerships, and partnerships require balance, and that's only achieved through boundaries, because boundaries prevent things from becoming one-sided. One mistake that we do is we give our energy instead of sharing it. Giving is the relinquishing or the exchanging of ownership. Sharing is the remembrance of ownership, but the allowance of partnership. Giving an all access pass to our energy compromises our ability to be healthy in the partnership. Our energy is the best tool for us to use to determine if we can or if we shouldn't. And either way needs to be communicated. Properly managing your energy means properly managing your boundaries. And to be honest, if you have a friend who doesn't remind you of your boundaries or even consider your boundaries, you don't have a partner, you have a consumer. Friendships are supposed to be teammates, not emotional weights. Valuing your friendships means valuing your boundaries. Food for me is food for you. Peace and love.
Yeah, man. He dropped some tea because he was just spewing it out. Let's talk about it though. Pouring into relationships, as the gentleman said, is of course how you make relationships work, right? But it shouldn't be at the exhaustion of yourself. Being able to be in a healthy relationship, you have to have some type of boundaries established. Whatever those boundaries are for you, you have to have those set because you want to be able to show up in your most highest, healthiest self, right? So the boundaries are set there for a reason. And if you aren't respecting your boundaries by letting this other person, not respect them, then you're honestly just doing a disservice to the both of you. And at that point, the relationship can become toxic. It can just, become something that wasn't either party's intent. We have to be able to recognize that, hey, my energy is drained when I'm around you. I can't do this anymore. Or maybe that other person isn't aware that they aren't, respecting your boundaries, but you have to be able to communicate that. I think a lot of times, especially if you're an empath like myself, we just give. And that self-erasure, it's exhausting, man. Let me tell you, okay? Depleting yourself is never fun. It's never okay.
Self-erasure is really related to people-pleasing, and it is often a skill we learn very early that in order to survive, in order to be safe, in order to be liked, I can anticipate what people want and give it to them. And people will praise you for it.
Okay, I had to stop her right there for a moment because, wow, what a revelation. I think a lot of times when we pour so much into others instead of pouring into ourselves equally, I think a lot of times that comes from our own traumas. I don't know what that trauma is for you, but I do know what that trauma is for me. At the same time, trauma is trauma. And if we are not nurturing and patching up those traumatic wounds within us, that's where we begin to become people pleasers. And nobody likes a people pleaser except for, maybe a narcissist. But we don't want to be friends with narcissists, right? We don't want to be in relationships with narcissists. We want to be in healthy relationships. A little dash of narcissism is okay for either party, but that's another video for another day. Let's finish this one.
Will praise you for erasing yourself, for having no needs, right? Or do you need anything? No, I'm good. I'm just here to help you. Mm-hmm. Oh, people, we love that, right? A person with no needs who just wants to be of service to you. And so we get that reinforced in friendship, in relationships. So that's how people can be in friendships for years with people who don't like you, right? Don't care about you, but I just have to keep them pleased in some way. One of the pieces I talk about of reclaiming yourself and coming home to yourself is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. When you find yourself, some people won't like it.
It's going to be a tough one to adjust to, but you've got to, in this lady's words, got to come home to yourself. So how do we build and attract healthy relationships? Well, this next video, I think we'll be able to tap into that a little bit more. So let's see what this young lady has to say.
You stop attracting superficial level friends when you start putting yourself first. When you start setting boundaries and when you prioritize your mental and physical health, and when you stop being a people pleaser, you'll be able to discern between the friend who's only interested in the friendship if it's convenient for them versus the friend who truly cares about your well-being. Notice the energy when you say no to hanging out because you need some alone time. Notice the energy when you respectfully disagree with something they say. Notice the energy when you say that you're not able to help them with something. Now, I'm not saying that you should be someone who always disagrees with your friends and never helps out a friend in need. I'm saying that on the occasions where this does happen, notice how the other person responds, because it will show you whether this is someone that you can develop a mature and deeper relationship with.
I don't know if you're noticing a theme here, but you gotta do the work, because when you're self-aware, you're able to build a deep friendship, relationship with other people. At the end of the day, we just have to remember to set boundaries. But what do boundaries actually look like in friendships? I think this next video will give us a good idea.
Here are 11 boundaries and expectations I have for my close friendships that I expect from the other person and from myself in return. Part 1. Number 1, I will not engage in disagreements or tense discussions if the other person is not fighting fairly and with love. Number 2, I will not tolerate someone speaking to me in a catty, sassy, petty, or belittling tone or way. Number 3, if my friend says something that hurts or upsets me, I will wait until the next day to reply. Number 4, I will not emotionally dump on my friends. I will ask them if they are comfortable with me coming to them with heavy things and will expect them to do the same in return. Number 5, I will respect my friends' time and expect them to do the same.
I love all 5 of those boundaries that she incorporates into her own relationships, because it's a good start, you know, and as time evolves and as you become more self-aware, you'll be able to add on to those boundaries if need be. But you know, I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like, but Tandy, how do you know that you need to break up with a friend? Well, the next video might give you a little bit of clarity.
How do you know when it's time to break up with a friend? If someone is unwilling to relate to me now as like Lindsay, 34 years old, this is where I am in my life, and unwilling to relate and get to know me now, and they're only working on and relating to the Lindsay when they met me or the season of life that they felt most close to me, then I feel like it's just time.
That's when you know. If you are in a space that your friend is not, they're not actively trying to become better while you are simultaneously becoming better yourself, that friendship ain't serving you, boo. You gotta cut it out, okay? In my Uncle Joey voice. Was it Uncle Joey that did cut it out? I don't know. Leave a comment down below, because I forgot. Y'all know Full House. Yes, it was Uncle Joey, because Uncle Jesse was with the hair, right? Okay, so we've talked about how to build deep connections with your friends. We've also talked about how to recognize whenever a friendship is no longer serving you. But how do you actually break up with a friend? Because that's gotta be difficult, right? I mean, it's one of those difficult conversations. Difficult, but necessary. I want to be able to bring you guys tools to elevate yourselves, because as I'm on this elevation journey of my own, I want you guys to come along the ride with me, and we all can just, you know, be better people, be better humans, because I don't like how people be people in these days. Like, society is unhinged. Let's check out this next video and really get a good understanding on how to have those difficult conversations when you need to break up with your friend.
I've noticed you've been withdrawn and haven't wanted to hang out recently. What's going on? I've treasured our season of friendship, but we're moving in different directions in life. I don't have the capacity to invest in our friendship any longer. Is it something I did? This feels really sudden. I get that it might be hard to understand, but I've been reevaluating many areas of my life recently, including my ability to be a good friend to you. I just want to be honest and upfront so I don't disappoint your expectations. I'm sorry if this feels painful and confusing. I wish you all love and success.
And there you have it, you guys. That is, I think, the most polite but yet effective way to communicate with your friend if you feel like that relationship is no longer serving you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you ever broken up with a friend? How did you feel about it? How did you get through it? Let us know, because we're all here collectively just trying to be better humans. But you know what? I want to know what you guys think of this video. If you liked this video or found it helpful in any way, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you guys are subscribed to my channel, okay? Hit the post notification bell so that you can be notified of my future uploads. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.